Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Tuesday, I think. Yeah, January 14th. Halfway, well, kind of halfway through the month of January. I can't wait. I hate January. Sucks. Ah, such a dark, gloomy month. But anyway, we're going to talk a lot of sports today because we're going to talk Eagles, Rams. We now know who the Eagles are playing on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Going to talk the Sixers fiasco. What's going on with the arena thing there? What the hell? And a little Phillies to boot. So, Eagles Rams on Sunday, huh? Huh? Well, you know what I said. Always listen to Daddy. Daddy knows. The Rams, it wasn't interesting. You had one of the Los Angeles teams, the Chargers, who seemed very distracted by the wildfires at home. And you can't blame them, right? You can't blame them. But they played in Houston, and it just seemed like the Chargers weren't there, you know? Their minds were elsewhere, probably back home again. But the Rams, even though they played in Arizona last night, it was supposed to be a home game, but because of the wildfires, they moved the game to Arizona, where the Rams played Minnesota. Well, the Rams were motivated. I couldn't believe how much energy and passion they came out with. You know what? Right from the get go, first quarter, I knew the Vikings were toast. I knew it. I knew it because they just looked flat. They looked, you know what? What was very interesting was that we didn't know how the Rams were going to come in. We didn't know whether they were going to be distracted like the Chargers were. Uh, it's been a chaos there for these California teams. They haven't been able to practice right, and then getting up and moving, to Arizona and bring the families and the dogs and everything with them. But the Rams came out motivated, inspired. They had even more of a reason, other than it being a playoff game, to to win last night. The Vikings aren't the Vikings that what a pathetic organization. What's the Minnesota Vikings never can always something with those people, isn't it? Oh my God, another year after winning 14 games, another year of not getting to the Super Bowl, let alone winning the Super Bowl. But it's always something with the Minnesota. Skull this. Oh, Jesus. But Minnesota looked like they were, losing to Detroit last Sunday night. That was the game. That was the game. Minnesota wins that game. They win the NFC North, but more importantly, they get the number one seed in the NFC. They have a bye. They have a week off to rest. They have home field advantage all the way through. Well, we should have known once they lost that game Sunday night, they came crashing down. You would have thought a professional team like that would say, okay, let's water under the bridge, blah, blah, blah. Let's move on. It's the playoffs, right? But they didn't. They just seemed like they were bummed out, from losing on Sunday to the Lions. So once the Rams got up on the Vikings, that was it. That was it. And the Vikings shot themselves in the foot of them. The quarterback position is so important in football. Could be the most important position in all of sports because you're running the show. And if your quarterback sucks, as Sam Darnold had the last 2 weeks, forget it. You don't have a chance. Sam Darnold had a nice year. He had a good year. He led the Vikings to 14 wins, but it just didn't seem like enough, And here's a team that wins 14 friggin' games, 14-3 on the year. and they end up having to go on the road as a wild card team. You could see it. You could see they were so bummed out, They couldn't overcome that. And the quarterback choked the last 2 weeks against the Lions and last night against the Rams. Quarterback choked. He reverted back to the Sam Darnold of old when he was like with the Jets or something, Sucky Sam. Anyway, Vikings, come on, man. Justin Jefferson he didn't do anything. Addison, but it seemed like they were all stuck in quicksand. They seemed old and they seemed slow. Whereas the Rams had a lot of energy and they seemed faster. So the Rams come to South Philadelphia on Sunday afternoon to play our Eagles. Now, we'll be talking about this game all through the week. We'll break it down. My initial thoughts are this. I wanted the Vikings to come to Philly, play the Vikings. Why? Because you saw why last night. You saw why last night. The Vikings were good, but they weren't that good. I mean, especially the quarterback. That's why I wanted the Vikings to come to Philly. The Rams have experience. They know what it takes to win. They just won a freaking Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They have an experienced quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Puka, and the other guy, Puka and Cup. Really good receivers. And they have a young, upcoming defense. The coach is really good. I mean, the Rams are they're a dangerous team. And you know what, my friends? Emotion. Emotion is a real thing in sports. Never, ever downplay emotion. Because if you win the mental part of the game, you're halfway there. I mean, emotion is such a big thing in sports. The key on Sunday is going to be, will the Rams be able to carry over that emotion? Or is it going to be a 1-week thing? You kind of figured if the Rams were distracted last night, emotion alone was going to carry them pretty far last night. Will they be able to sustain that? Now, don't forget, the Rams have to fly across country. It's a 3:00 game here, so that means it's a 12 o'clock timing on the West Coast. That's not too bad. It's not like a 1 o'clock game here, 10 o'clock out on the West Coast. The thing about the Rams is they're going to have to play outdoors. Hopefully, it's going to be cold on Sunday. Right now, the weather is supposedly clear, but you never know. That's the big thing because the Rams play indoors. So they're not used to playing outdoors. So that's Eagles' advantage right there, right? Time difference. Will LA be able to sustain that emotion? So we'll talk about the game more as the week goes on. The matchups. Don't forget, the Eagles played the Rams this year, and they beat them, what was it, 37-20, 34-20, something like that. Saquon Barkley ran for 255 yards. He went off on the Rams. A.J. Brown, 101 yards receiving. Well, nobody's going to stop Saquon. I mean, come on. He's going to get his, as they say. He is going to get his. I think the way he beat the Eagles, he tried to keep everybody else down, Saquon is safe. He's going to get his, especially in the second half. He's going to wear you down, and he will get his. Now, the thing of it is, I look for A.J. Brown to have a big game this week. Why? Because he did not have a big game last week, we know AJ's history. We know his history. When he has a bad game, when he doesn't get the ball, he's moaning and groaning. Not so much this week. So I got to get from him. The big thing is about that book that he was reading, Inner Excellence. Did you see that? It zoomed to number one overnight. Geez, I need the AJ Brown to get my book then. Jesus. But that's amazing, isn't it? That book, Inner Excellence, self-help book, was not even in the top 500,000. One overnight, it zoomed to number one on the Amazon list. Incredible. A little PR will do for it, huh? But I think AJ will get the ball more this week. I think to feed AJ, and he's going to help the Eagles win. I'm just saying. It's hard to beat the same team twice in the same year. Okay, well, I get that. I get that. But it's not like two regular season games. This is the playoffs, damn it. Playoffs. You can't be motivated for the playoffs. Go home. Right? It's a whole different ballgame. So Eagles will be fine. They'll be fine. But they have a way. They know how to beat this team. Now, granted, Matthew Stafford has been a thorn in the Eagles' side in the past. We've seen Stafford beat the Eagles when he was with the Lions. We've seen him beat the Eagles when he's been with the Rams, right? An experienced quarterback. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want the Birds to play the Eagles, because of Matthew Stafford. But it is what it is, and they're coming, and you gotta see what's going to happen. Well, is that emotion going to carry over to Sunday, right? How's the weather going to affect the Rams? How's the travel going to affect the Rams? And it should be an interesting game. I mean, you got to give the Rams credit. They did seem like they were distracted. They didn't fold up like a cheap suit. They played hard, and they took it to the Vikings, and they beat them. The way I feel about emotion in sports, no matter what the sport. If it wasn't for my Eagles in the playoffs, I might give the Rams the pretty good shot at winning the Super Bowl. That this emotion, this from what happened in LA, may just be the thing that carries them through. I don't think so. I hope not. I hope the Eagles take care of them on Sunday. Again, the key thing is getting out in front, using Barkley in the second half to run the ball, limiting your turnovers. How the turnovers just absolutely kill you. Look what happened last night with the Vikings. Fumble, interceptions. Oh God, Sam Darnold, he looked like a college kid. You can't have the turnovers. That's the key thing in football. You can't give the opposition a short field to go and score, and you can't, when you have the ball in the red zone, you can't turn the ball over. You got to cash in your opportunities. You only get so many opportunities in a football game. You have to cash them in. That's the bottom line. So now we're set. We're set for next weekend, right? We know what's what. We got the Houston Texans playing at Kansas City. Now, all right, so Kansas City going to be rusty. They've been off a week. Mahomes hasn't thrown a pass since Christmas. Literally, Christmas. how's this little bit of layoff going to affect him? Um, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Houston, I'd give him a shot. I really would. I'm going to think about this game all week long, but I would give Houston a shot. I know Kansas City's motivated. They want to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. It's something that no one else has ever done before. And we know the Chiefs step it up when they get into the playoffs. We know that. Even though by their standards, it wasn't a typical Chiefs season. They didn't blow teams away. Again, this is a Chiefs team that won 15 games, but they didn't score 30 points in even one game. They didn't blow anybody away, but they just kept winning. So we know the Chiefs will stick to them. We know. We're used to be able to stay with them. Well, we'll talk about that later on. And then Saturday night, we have Washington going to Detroit. Same thing. Detroit has a week off. How's that going to affect them? Are they're going to be rusty? Or are they going to come out rested and take care of business against Washington? Don't forget Washington rookie quarterback. He didn't look like a rookie when they played Tampa Bay the other night, Sunday night. So, but you never know, right? It's a big line, 9.5. When I saw it, I was like, whoa, a playoff game, 9.5? A big line. That is a bigger line than Houston and Kansas City. But we'll see. We'll got to think about that, definitely. Let's see what's what. I would be surprised if Washington gave them a good game. Washington has a good team. They're not a great team, but they're a good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave the Lions a tussle, but I do expect the Lions to win. And then you got Sunday, you got the Eagles Rams early, 3 o'clock. And then you got the Ravens up in Buffalo playing the Bills. Man, I think that's going to be a great game. And when I saw that line this morning, did you see it? The Bills are home and they're underdogs. Now, wait a minute. Now, the Bills are 9-0 this year at home. Listen to me. The Bills have not lost a game at home in Buffalo all year. 8 wins in the regular season, and they won last week at home in the playoffs. And yet the Bills are underdogs? Really? I got a feeling that's going to change by the time kickoff rolls around Sunday night. Can't see the Bills being underdogs at home when they're so good at it. People are really, I don't know if people are over evaluating Baltimore or not. I get it. Baltimore has a good team. They got Lamar Jackson, who may win the MVP. They have Derrick Henry. It's got a good team, but they're having to go up into Buffalo and be favored. I don't know about that. I just got a feeling people are overestimating Baltimore. That should be a classic game though, because you've got the two MVP candidates. Well, you know what? I'd put Saquon Barkley there. Nobody's had a year like he's having as far as a running back is concerned. And really, the only reason why he's not a serious candidate for MVP is because he's a running back, right? But okay, you've got Lamar Jackson against Josh Allen, the two front runners, let's call it front runners for MVP, going head to head. I don't know, it's going to be a war up there in Buffalo. That's all I've ever seen. It's going to be So we got some interesting games on tap, huh? And like I said, we'll talk more about the games, what to look for, the props as the week goes. I wanted to mention something about this Sixers fiasco. Did you hear about it? The Sixers for it's years. Sixers have been pushing and pushing and pushing for their own arena. And they wanted to have an arena built near Center City in Chinatown. Well, that pissed off a lot of people because people who live in Chinatown are saying, it's going to be crazy down here. You put an arena down here, the traffic's going to be horrendous. And, they go through all this time and trouble, all this money, and the city council approves the deal. The mayor approves the deal. And all of a sudden, the Sixers say, whoa, wait a minute. We changed our mind. We want to stay in South Philly. Duh. Why? Well, we've heard a lot of excuses, a lot of reasoning. I don't know if we're ever going to get the reason. But to me, it's like it's the Godfather thing, I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. That's exactly what it was. The Sixers were made an offer that they couldn't refuse. You put Comcast in there, the NFL. They had this big meeting, okay, not too long. Comcast, which we know, they're the giants, like the Godzillas of the area, right? They were in the Josh Harris, owner of the Sixers. And apparently, Jeffrey Lurie, owner of the Eagles, was there. And Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, was there. What the hell is he doing in that meeting, right? And I wouldn't be surprised that if John Middleton, the owner, one of the owners of the Phillies, was in that meeting too. So why are these big shots all getting together? And all of a sudden, the Sixers changed their mind. I think they offered the Sixers management and offered they couldn't refuse. So all of a sudden, they forgot about Chinatown, and now they want to build a new arena down South Philly to share with the Flyers. Well, what happened to this? We want to own our own business. Crap. Our own arena, right? We want to own our own arena. We don't want to share the arena with any other team. Well, what happened to that? That's how dumb. When word came down on this Sunday afternoon, everyone was shocked. At first, it was like, okay, the Flyers are going to have their own arena, Wells Fargo Center. Sixers are going to build their own arena close by. Everybody, all four teams, have their own venues. But nah, that's not what it is. It's a brand new arena, state of the art. But the Flyers and the Sixers are supposedly going to share it. I think the reason Goodell was in that meeting was because, see, they're all tied into this stuff. Josh Harris is trying to get a new stadium down in Washington. So they're on the outskirts of Washington, in Virginia, maybe. And Goodell was down there, and he said, all right, we'll give you your stadium, but you got to play ball with us up here in Philadelphia. Now, I mean, they're saying that they want to bring a WNBA team to Philly, which I wouldn't be surprised if they want a WNBA team to come to Philly. Sure, why not? The WNBA is more popular than ever. And I don't think that's the main reason why the Sixers pulled the plug on the Center City arena. I mean, it all comes down to this, right? It all comes down to money. And obviously, the Sixers are going to get a bigger piece of the pie than what they got before. I mean, think about it. Comcast used to own the Sixers. Part of it. They sold their share of the Sixers back in 2011. Now they want to get back in again. Well, because, the new arena, which they were going to build anyway. They were talking about building a new Wells Fargo Center down there, like in the 2030s. Sounds like they're just speeding everything up there, you know? So I don't know. It's just it left all these politicians, the mayor of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia City Council, with egg on their faces because there they are making the point that well we need this new arena because it's really going to revitalize the Chinatown district. This is the shot in the arm that Center City Philadelphia needs. And all of a sudden, whoops, forget we said that. What we meant to say was the new arena down South Philly, that's what we do. That's what we do. So we'll see. Yeah? Supposedly they're going to fast track this, and the latest it's going to be completed is in the year 2031. So that's 6 years from now to get a new arena. But yeah, we'll see what happens. To me, I have to see it to believe it because there's been so many things that supposedly were going to happen in Philadelphia, which never happened. Do you remember Disney was supposed to come to Philadelphia? That never happened. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Philly was one of the finalists along with Cleveland. Well, that never happened because the Rock Hall went to Cleveland. So, when I see the new arena, I'll believe it. Same way with the Sixers commitment now that, oh, well, even though we're not going to build a new arena near Chinatown, we're still going to help you to revitalize Chinatown. Really? Even though you have nothing in it? Okay, Sixers. We'll see. But that's just really a mystery, isn't it? Why did we pull the plug on it? So we'll see. Hey, Phillies. While the Eagles are on the road to the Super Bowl, and we're talking some Sixers there, have a tough stretch coming up. Flyers. Phillies are just sitting there quietly. They're not doing anything. They're not making any significant trades or signing any more significant free agents. They're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. That's what they're doing. So, hopefully one of these days we'll hear that Dave Dombrowski made a move and he actually did something to help the team. Because right now, as we stand, no matter what my friend Ruben Amaro said, I think the Phillies still need some help, especially on offense. I hate to see them run the same offense back again this year, the offense that choked in the playoffs the last 2 years, right? I'm just saying. Well, I posted an episode last week about meeting Ruben Amaro Jr., the great ex-general manager in the Phillies. Now he's a broadcaster. Still, I think, has a big influence in that organization. He's always on the field. He's always talking to the manager. He's always talking to the front office. So I think he has a lot more say than we know. And so, but it was an hour-long episode. Sorry it took that long. A lot to talk about. But I thought what I would do today before I sign off is just touch on much more quickly the topics that Ruben brought up at the hot stove meeting last week. He talked a lot about Alec Bohm. His contention is would not trade Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm, he says, is the best hitter on the team, doesn't strike out as much, still young, still has a ways to go. Ruben thinks that he's definitely going to hit more home runs as time goes on. He's going to get stronger, bigger. He knows the strike zone. So would not trade Alec Bohm, no matter what you hear out there in the rumors or whatever. What else? We've been talking about Scott Kingery. Why did he go bad? Because analytics, he got it in his head that he had to hit a lot of home runs in order to make big money. And that just got him all out of whack. He's not a home run hitter, but he thought he was. That's the problem. Ranger Suarez, Ruben's contention is Ranger needs to take better care of himself, needs to get in shape for him to return to his brilliance of the first half of last season. What else did we talk about? Wheeler and Nola, how lucky the Phillies have been that they take the ball every fourth or fifth day, go out and pitch well, no injuries. Hopefully these guys aren't going to break down starting this year. Jesus Luzardo, the new pitcher they got from the Marlins, Ruben loves him. So great reports from the scouts down in Venezuela about this guy. Can't wait for him to get started in the Phillies rotation. What else? Trey Turner. Now we may want him to move out of shortstop because he's brutal, isn't he? Isn't he brutal at shortstop? Defensively, he's brutal. Like to see him play center field. He has played center field before. He has a lot of speed. Like we said, center field has been sort of a black hole for the Phillies the last few years. But Ruben doesn't think that's going to happen. He said it would really take a strong case for Trey Turner to all of a sudden decide, all right, I'll go play center field wherever you want me to. Apparently, he didn't say this for sure. Apparently, the Phillies may have promised that one of the reasons why they're going to sign him is they're going to keep him at shortstop. I mean, it's a possibility. It's possible. And that's why he's still at short, even though it sucks. A couple other things. Andrew Pater, Ruben thought that he would be back probably in July-ish, around the trade deadline. Don't want to rush him back too soon. Loves Rob Thompson, the manager. Calls him one of the best managers the Phillies have ever had. Talked about Bryce Harper and the fact that, he's in the midst of that long-term deal. And will he get a contract extension? We'll see. I don't know. And he also talked about Brandon Marsh. The fact that Marsh needs to cut down on strikeouts, could be a decent hitter in time, never going to be a great power hitter. But Brandon Marsh just needs to play better. The time that he will have to play, he's got to step it up. And Ruben mentioned the kids coming up on the horizon. Carl Crawford's son, Justin Crawford, plays center field every day. And Aiden Miller, the third base / shortstop prospect, who hopefully will be up soon too. So it was a very interesting discussion we had with Ruben, and I'm really glad that he came to it. So there you go, huh? We'll keep, of course, Eagles will be on our minds all week until we finally get another game under our belts Sunday afternoon. Sixers, Flyers playing this week too, and we'll see what happens there. But interesting week coming up, guys, especially on the sports front. And we're only 6 days away from the inauguration. Donald Trump again, second time around. All right, let's hope for the best, right? Buckle up, buddy. We gotta hope for the best. So we'll see what happens, right? All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really do appreciate you. I always love coming on and giving my takes about sports and what have you, whatever else is going on in the world. So hang with me, okay? It should be a good week too. So everybody have a great day. Peace and love to everybody. And oh, don't forget, probably tomorrow-ish or Thursday, we'll do another classic movie. Uh, kind of thinking about what I want to do, but it's always a good time when we get together. We talk about a classic movie every week, right? So we'll see what we pick this week. So, okay, everybody, take care. Talk to you tomorrow. See you later. Bye.